A man named Paul jolts awake, his world a suffocating darkness. He frantically pats his surroundings, feeling the rough, splintering wood closing in on him from all sides. He's trapped in a box, a coffin. The air is thick, dusty, and hard to breathe. Panic sets in as he screams and pushes against the lid, but it doesn't budge an inch. He's buried alive. The chilling realization washes over him, a wave of pure terror. How did he get here? Why is this happening? His mind races, but the memories are a foggy mess. He searches his pockets, his heart pounding in his chest. His wallet is gone, but his fingers find something familiar, a Zippo lighter. He flicks it open, and a small, flickering flame cuts through the oppressive darkness. The tiny light reveals the crude construction of his wooden prison. Just a simple pine box, just big enough for his body. The flame also illuminates another object lying near his head, a cell phone. A surge of hope, fragile but fierce, shoots through him. A connection to the outside world. He grabs the phone, his hands trembling. The screen glows to life, its modern light a stark contrast to the ancient terror of his situation. The battery is low, a cruel detail in this nightmare. He knows he has to act fast every second, every percentage point of battery life is precious. He tries to call 911, his voice hoarse and desperate. The operator on the other end is calm, professional, but struggles to understand his predicament. "I'm in a coffin," he rasps. "I've been buried. I don't know where I am." The signal is weak, and the call is frustratingly slow. He tells them he's a civilian truck driver from the US working in Iraq. The pieces start to come back to him. His convoy was ambushed, chaos, gunfire, then nothing but darkness until now. The 911 operator transfers him to the FBI. He speaks to an agent, explaining his situation again. They promise to help, to try and trace his location, but the connection is unstable and keeps cutting out. Suddenly, the phone rings. It's an incoming call from an unknown number. He answers, his breath hitched. A man with a thick accent speaks, his voice chillingly calm. The man on the line confirms Paul's worst fears. He is being held for ransom. The kidnapper demands an exorbitant sum of money, a ransom that Paul, a simple truck driver, could never afford. The kidnapper tells him to make a video. He must record a message demanding the ransom, or the people who buried him will leave him there to die. The air in the coffin suddenly feels 10 times thinner. Paul refuses, his voice filled with a mixture of defiance and terror. The kidnapper hangs up. The silence that follows is deafening, broken only by the sound of his own ragged breathing. He tries to call his wife Linda, but her phone goes straight to voicemail. He leaves a frantic, heartbreaking message, telling her he loves her and that he's in trouble. He doesn't want to scare her, but the words spill out in a torrent of fear. He then tries to contact his employer. He gets through to a corporate representative who listens to his story with a detached, bureaucratic tone. They seem more concerned with company policy than with his life. The representative puts him on hold, the tinny music a surreal and insulting soundtrack to his slow-motion death. He feels a profound sense of abandonment. He's just a number, a liability they want to sweep under the rug. Time is becoming a blur. He uses the lighter to see, but every flicker consumes a little more of his precious, limited oxygen supply. The air is growing stale, and he starts to feel dizzy. He can hear faint sounds from above, muffled rumbles and vibrations. He bangs on the lid of the coffin, screaming for help, but it's useless. The sounds are distant, indifferent. The kidnapper calls again, his patience wearing thin. Tells Paul that another person from his convoy was also captured and buried. If Paul doesn't cooperate, she will be left to die as well. The weight of another person's life now rests on his shoulders. The kidnapper sends him a video of a woman, bound and gagged, also trapped in a box. It's a cruel, manipulative tactic, and it works. Paul feels a crushing sense of responsibility. Can't let her die. He agrees to make the video, his hope dwindling with every passing moment. Using the phone's camera, he records a desperate plea. He reads the script the kidnapper gave him, his voice shaking. He posts the video online as instructed, feeling a piece of his dignity crumble away. The video goes viral almost instantly. The world now knows he is buried alive. But this newfound attention doesn't bring immediate rescue. Instead, it complicates things. He gets a call from Dan Brenner, the head of the hostage working group. Brenner is a professional, his voice calm and reassuring, but he is also firm. He tells Paul that the government does not negotiate with terrorists. Brenner warns him that his captors are liars, that they will likely not release him even if they get the money. He tells Paul to try and stay calm, to conserve his oxygen, and to wait for them to find him. It's a race against time. Phone battery's critically low. The oxygen is running out. Sand from above has started to trickle into the coffin through the cracks in the wood. A slow, relentless hourglass marking his final moments. The kidnapper calls again, angry that the money hasn't been delivered. Paul can hear the sound of digging in the background of the call. The kidnapper tells him they are going to another coffin. Hope flickers within Paul. Maybe they are coming for him. But the kidnapper's next words extinguish that hope completely. He says they are going to the woman, the other hostage, because her family paid. Paul is left with a devastating choice. He has been abandoned by his employer and his government. His only chance is Brenner and the hostage working group. Brenner calls him back. His voice is urgent. He tells Paul they have a location. A source has given them coordinates. He says they are on their way, that they are digging. Paul can hear shouting and digging through the phone. It sounds real. It sounds close. Brenner tells him to hold on, that they are just a few feet away. For the first time in hours, Paul allows himself to believe he might survive. He can feel the vibrations through the wood. Sand is pouring in faster now, starting to cover his legs. He's running out of air, gasping, but he holds on to Brenner's voice, his lifeline. "We're here, Paul. We're opening it," Brenner shouts. Paul braces himself for the lid to be ripped open, for the blinding light of rescue, for a breath of fresh air. The sand is up to his chest. The coffin lid above him remains stubbornly in place. But through the phone, he hears the sound of a different coffin being opened. He hears a muffled cry, and then Brenner's voice filled with despair. "Oh God, ... It's Mark White." They found a coffin, but it wasn't his. It was the coffin of a man who Brenner had told Paul about earlier, another victim who they thought had already been found. The kidnapper had lied about everything. The kidnapper's voice comes on the line one last time. "I'm so sorry, Paul," he says, with a tone that sounds almost genuine, almost regretful. Then he hangs up. The sand is now up to Paul's neck. The phone's battery dies, plunging him into absolute darkness and silence. The last thing he hears is the calm, defeated voice of Dan Brenner on the phone. "I'm so sorry, Paul, I'm so sorry." The sand fills the coffin, silencing his screams and extinguishing the last flicker of his life. He is alone, trapped in the dark, his struggle over, lost to the indifferent earth. Thank you for watching this recap. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to Movies Recap Repo.